Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here, based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me, absolutely happened to me. For years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Welch's can't make everything make sense. Like why your mom still listens to the radio or what she meant when she sent that emoji. But a zero sugar drink that's still full of fruit flavor, we made that make sense. And strawberry, passion fruit, Concord grape, and more. You gotta sip it to get it. New Welch's Zero Sugar. Let's fruit stuff up.
Everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay! And Cho-Cho!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us all aboard the murder train, pulling away from the station. We got some murder in a aptly named town this week.
Is that right?
Hilarious. I'm not going to even tell you yet, Jimmy, till we get there, but it's so much fun because you're just going to laugh when you hear it, and so will everybody else, even though they've already read the title when they clicked on the show, I assumed. But before we get to that, very quickly, shutupandgivememurder.com. Virtual live show tickets are available right this minute for the 420 virtual live show. Oh, we're so excited for that. Just like a regular live show, except anywhere you want to be that has an internet connection,
right.
You can watch it in your own living room or whatever with your own drinks and your own weed.
So many of you already bought them. Thank you so much.
Yeah, people jumped right on it. We're so excited for that, definitely. And just like a regular live show, we're going to have weird smoking implements to scare Jimmie and to scare me as well, because I don't even know what some of them are. Sarah's gonna dump them on me.
Compiling them?
It's good stuff. Yeah, we can't wait for that. Also, get your tickets to regular live shows. They're selling out already, so get them right now. April 5th, Sacramento. April 6th, San Francisco.
So
you guys are up first, so let's kick this tour off right. Minneapolis, sell that bad boy out. It'll be our biggest show ever. Can't wait. Let's do it. We're so excited. ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com. You certainly want Patreon. Patreon.com/CrimeInSports is where you get all the bonus material. Tons of stuff. Anybody $5 a month or above, what can you get for $5, Jimmy? What do you think?
Everything, James.
Everything. What about outside of our Patreon?
Oh, my
hardly
God.
anything. You can get hardly anything.
Very little.
Very little. Some gum, maybe. Patreon is what you get. You get a couple hundred back episodes right away. New ones every other week. This week for Crime and Sports, which you'll have access to, we are going to talk about our personal ads, which are hilarious. Right. Yeah, we're going to do. So they're the most fun. It doesn't matter if you like sports or not, because that's nothing to do with it. It's just desperate people trying to find love through the newspaper in the 80s and 90s. And then for Small Town Murder, one of the weirdest stories ever, the Collier brothers. These two brothers who basically stayed inside their brownstone in New York for years and years, and they finally had to cut walls out to take them out of the place, and they were hoarding in there, and it was wild. We'll talk all about that. Patreon.com/crimeandsports, and you'll get a shout-out at the end of the regular show where Jimmy will mispronounce your name. In addition to that, you definitely want to listen to Crime and Sports, our other podcast, which is not on Patreon, just regular. No. And then also Your Stupid Opinions, our newest podcast, which honestly is just the funniest goddamn show you're ever going to hear.
So much fun. Yeah.
Check those out. And that said, let's get into this because we got a lot of murder in front of us here. Just a wild, wild tale. I think it's time, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
What do you say? Let's all take a deep breath here. Arms to the sky. And let's all shout. Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, everybody. What do you say? Let's go on a trip, shall we?
All loaded. Yeah, may as well.
We are going all the way down to Texas this week.
Oh, boy.
To the town of Panhandle, Texas. So we've come full circle here.
Oh, boy.
It took 470 episodes to actually get to a town called Panhandle.
It goddamn exists.
When there's plenty of people walking around with Panhandle behavior T-shirts, because that's a thing we always talked about. Is a lot of our stories took place in weird panhandles of states.
It's fascinating.
We called it Panhandle behavior. Well, this is.
And the Panhandle just houses all the fuckery.
It just seems to. Yeah, we used to say, get out of the handle, get into the pan, get out of there.
It's too much out there.
We used to say, and this must be like the center of it all, like the chewy, nougaty center of the entire Panhandle industry here is Panhandle, Texas.
Hilarious.
Unsurprisingly, it is in the Texas Panhandle.
Right.
As you might imagine. It'd be weird if it was just outside of Dallas. That would be a strange name for it.
I've heard that the people of Texas frown on everyone in the Panhandle.
Well, if you've driven through on the 40 through the Panhandle, you go, what the fuck is happening? You do. You're like, what is going on? You're passing through these ghost towns, and then Amarillo looks like it's from another decade for sure.
Yeah. It's very strange that is the Panhandle and not the area that looks like, a panhandle.
You would hold it. Yeah.
Right.
No, it's up there.
It's the stovetop hat. Well, stovepipe? I don't know. It's
Oklahoma is on top of it with their panhandle.
Right.
So you keep all your panhandles together is how it works. Like in your cabinets, you stack your pans. It's about a half hour, a little more to Amarillo. So it's just it's outside of Amarillo. Think about that. How middle of nowhere that is. Because when you're driving through there's nothing. Amarillo, nothing.
Right.
Like that's all it's there. It's 7.5 hours to Austin.
Jesus Christ.
And 9 hours to Atascocita, which was our last Texas episode, which was episode 425, Strange Morals, Stranger Sexual Needs. That dude was weird. He was into poop, and it was weird.
Yeah.
Population of this town, 2,686 panhandlers.
Very small, yeah.
Panhandle around this joint, I suppose.
Panhandling, yeah.
Median household income here is actually above the national average, $76,481. Is the
Roughnecks or some shit? What are they doing?
I don't know. They're making money. There's farming that goes on here still and stuff like that. Also, oil industry. Yeah, there's petroleum processing near here. Median home price, though, get that out of my mouth, is very reasonable for that. It is $159,100. So
shit,
it's not even twice the income, which is
They're doing fantastic.
Not bad. The motto of this town: people of pride and purpose.
Oh, boy.
Which sounds like an old movie or something. Panhandlers of Pride and Purpose and Panhandlery. It was originally not named Panhandle. Originally named Carson City, which is the capital of Nevada. That didn't work out very well. So they changed it to Panhandle City, which sounds even worse than Panhandle somehow. Yeah. Panhandle City.
That feels like that feels like you're selling them.
Yeah, Panhandle City. Come on down, everybody. It just sounds like a mess.
50% off down here at Panhandle City.
We ain't got no pans, but we got handles for any pan you can imagine right here.
For days.
Bring your pan and match them up. That's their slogan. They got a post office in 1887, and in 1888 they planned this town because the railroad was coming through. It was a real Blazing Saddles situation, I'm sure. They had a bank and a wagon yard and a store and a newspaper. 3 saloons, though. You had to have one store, 3 saloons. And, it became the county seat. Big scandal here, though. In 1897, George E. Morrison, who was the preacher at the Methodist Episcopal Church, poisoned his wife, Minnie, with strychnine-laced apple so that he could marry his mistress, some lady from Topeka, Kansas.
George. And they found out?
And they found out about the whole scandal. So, I mean, this is not an uncommon scandal for preachers of the people of the like politicians and whatever the fuck, but it's hilarious that back then they found out. It was a huge deal.
Strychnine apple? Is he fucking Walt Disney?
You want to find out something even weirder. Nowadays, you'd just be like, oh, that guy's a scumbag. I mean, and also he's a murderer, but they sentenced him to die, and he was hanged in Will Barger County, Texas here, and his last words were, "Jesus, lover of my soul." You should have thought of that when he was
that her name?
I was going to say, when he was fucking somebody else, he wasn't thinking about Jesus loving him. He was thinking about
not a bit.
Something
he
else.
was saying, "Oh God," a lot, but Jesus Christ, sir.
He was like, put that ass in the air. Oh God. Yeah. Reviews of this town, 5 stars. Panhandle, Texas is a wonderful country area where there's a lot of farms. It's wonderful seeing the country life around me. Panhandle itself is very small, so it's easy to find whatever's needed. Seems like it would be harder if it's that small. I guess there's not a lot of choices, so you go to the store if you want something.
You get what you get.
Yeah.
Don't throw a fit.
If you like simple, uncomplicated life, come on into town. It's come on into town, which sounds like a challenge for a gunfight.
Yes, it is.
In this town.
Dare ya.
Holy shit. 2 stars. Here we go. 2 stars. Panhandle is honestly not for me. All the adults have a collective idea that they are equal to each other, but all they do is judge people behind their backs. Yeah, it's called small towns. Did you see what she was doing? Yeah, people gossip. The smaller the group, the bigger, the more the gossip.
Yeah.
All of the kids are either bullies, druggies, abused by their parents who have a corrupt sense of discipline. The only nice kids are the ones who are getting barked at, beat, bullied, or chased by the cops for being high all the time. The high kids
are
nice.
Kids?
The high kids are nice. Yeah, they have little needs. The high kids.
Too stoned to fight back.
Throw a sandwich at them. They can be placated.
Being bullied.
This place is honestly awful. If you're able to avoid this town, do it. The only way to survive here is to convince all the adults that you're perfect, and then all caps, hate this town. Now, I don't know if they're saying they hate the town or they're telling you hate this town.
To do it.
Yeah, either one here. Then finally, 1 star, worst town I've ever lived in. If you have a writing talent or a music talent, it is probably best if you move on because these bigots will falsely accuse you of taking pictures of their kids and being a pervert. What are you talking? On? That's what I mean. What were you doing? Hiding behind bushes, taking. That's what I mean. This is a beef that this guy has that is very. It's not like everyone's like, I can't even take pictures of people's fucking kids now. Jesus, no one's trying to do that except for you.
I just want to sing songs about your babies.
Whoa, this town has really went downhill since Lyle Denny died.
The fuck
I have no idea. And Chief Sace or Sassy is the biggest hypocrite ever, dipping that snuff and pretending to be a family man. Oh, brother. This is some real local beefs here. I want to know everything about this.
Just airing it out.
We're going to go do a special investigative report on what's going on with this fucking review. Is he taking pictures of people? What's up with Chief?
Who is that?
The nicest people actually don't live in the town. Coincidence? I think not. Avoid this town like the plague. The plague. Okay.
Oh, boy.
That is awesome. I really want to get deep. See, this is why your stupid opinions is great, too, because we can delve deep into that. Because right now, I got a lot to say. I know you do, too.
We got to get some fucking flights booked and get there.
I got to get
start
there.
asking some fucking questions.
We need to know what's up with who is this guy taking pictures? They're going to go, oh, we know about him. Yeah, that's the picture-taking pervert. Yeah.
Where's Chief Sachi with his fucking lip full of dip?
Yeah, let's talk to you. Things to do, really only one, the VW Slug Bug Ranch.
Oh, is that here? Yeah.
That's where there's VW bugs stuck in the ground at 45-degree angles.
Because they couldn't afford Cadillacs.
Yeah, so they just stuck them in the ground. And you go there. There's nothing to do. There's no bands or food. You just go there and look at cars stuck in the ground.
See the bugs.
And go, wow, look at that. That's all.
Look at that. Hitler would be furious.
Yeah, this is terrible. That's hilarious. Speaking of Hitler, let's talk about a murder here.
All right.
Let's talk about some murder. And I say that because the person we're going to talk about right away, let's go to 1990 here. Kenneth Glenn Milner, Milner. He's born April 20th, 1971. So he's born on Hitler's birthday. So there you go.
What the fuck?
That was weird. That's why I was like, speaking of Hitler, this is a great segue.
That's fucking amazing.
You don't get to segue with Hitler very often. That's the thing. And I got to, on this show, let's be realistic here. I don't know if it comes across, but I got to find a lot of segues from shit into shit. It's not easy to come up with on the fly here. It's think about if you're telling a murder story and you got a segue between this and something. It's fucking hard. Yeah. You made it easy right there, my friend. Thank you.
Thank God every time I see a Volkswagen, I go, oh, that's Hitler's favorite thing.
Well, there you go. And it just rolled right into this young man here.
Unbelievable.
Kenneth Glenn Milner, born April 20th, 1971. So in 1990, he's about 19 years old. We'll talk to him. He is, and this has come up on episodes before, but I feel like he is the kid that Skid Row wrote 18 in Life about. Okay. He's that kid. Yeah. He's just, Ricky was a young boy.
Hell yeah.
Fucking that's it here. He has two sisters. By the time he's 19, he's described by somebody as a handsome 19-year-old who inspired loyalty among his few friends.
Few friends?
Few friends. He's got a little crew, and they follow him around like he's fucking something special.
Yeah.
And he's a dipshit, as we'll talk about.
Got it.
His parents are Kenneth Wayne, so same first name, different middle name. But it doesn't matter because he goes by Indian Milner as his dad. That's his name. It was in his obituary, man. It was
really
Kenneth Wayne, Indian Milner. That was it. Everyone, old Indian was born here, and
is he or is he not?
No, he's just. They called him that.
What the fuck?
He got kind of dark in the sun, and they were like Indian. It used to be Injun, and then they were like, let's get up with the times at least. That was 1971. They
Let's be a little more sensitive around here.
Yeah. Him and his wife and Kenneth Jr. there, whatever. His Ricky, we'll call him, as from 18.
Ken Ricky too.
His mom's name is Shirley. That's so Kenneth and Shirley are his parents. They run a bar just outside of Panhandle.
Wow.
Called Shirley's. That's tough people.
Yeah.
You run a bar just outside Panhandle, Texas, called Shirley's. There's some people getting thrown out of there, boy. Belt buckles are flying. Yeah. How often does a pool cue get swung at somebody? Like a lot, right?
Shirley's heard a few of those snap and was like, I just bought those. God damn it.
She knows the sound of a bar stool being pushed out when a fight's about that. She knows that. She knows that sound. It's in her blood. Yeah. So Kenneth Jr. here, the young one, his friends say he's obsessed with death. That's his main thing he likes.
Really?
Super into death here. And a lot of teenagers get a little bit morbid and gothy.
Weird,
and that's, I knew friends that were into, weird shit. They wanted to see the most craziest horror movies. Let's rent Faces of Death. You know that guy.
That's a weird kid.
And they never turned out great for the most part, a lot of those kids.
No.
It's about 75%. And then there's a normal one where you're like, what do you do at night?
Yeah. Those videos, too, were like very interesting until you saw them. Like
the thought of them was intriguing.
The thought of them was like, really? There's going to be like actual death in there.
Oh, I don't want to watch that.
Then you see it and you're like, oh no,
this
isn't what I thought it was at all. This isn't right.
I'm not into that. I have a deer that's been limping in my yard, in my woods for a while, and turns out I looked it up. They can do just fine, and there's no like predators in here for her, and
that's good.
It's my woods. No one's going to shoot her. So anyway, it's limping around though. I lose sleep sitting there thinking about this fucking deer like an idiot. I get made fun. Sarah makes fun of me. Not that she doesn't care, but she cares too. But I'm
what if he's out there? Yeah.
I'm literally like, I'm crushed about. Think about it for an hour sometimes.
What if he's in pain right now?
Yeah, I'll be depressed. What's wrong? Oh, I'm thinking about that deer right now. It's disturbing, dude. I got to stop.
Sprinkle a little Advil on your salt lick.
That's on the corn we put out there for him, and I'll put it in an apple.
Open up a couple of those liquid gels and just drizzle it.
Yeah, maybe I could do that. Poor guy. I feel so bad for him. So anyway, this guy, though, obsessed with death. He loves to watch horror movies and shit like that. It's the 80s, too. I mean, that was there's tons of kids with a Metallica T-shirt on watching horror movies in the 80s. That's
and those the horror movies then were so fucking campy and stupid.
Yeah.
Like the graphics of them, sure, I mean, at the time, it probably was shocking to see like the bloody faces and such, but none of it looks real. Not one bit of it.
You only watched those movies, because I had no kids that were really into them, you only watched those movies for the special effects of the kill.
Right.
You're going, oh, that's how they killed that guy, and they, the knife came through here. That's the only reason why they watched them. They weren't plot heavy. They were just,
and
six
none of
kids
them,
in a camp.
None of it was interesting.
No.
It was like, oh, Jesus.
There's usually 2 instances of boobs, and then hopefully some like, oh, the head came off. That's pretty cool. Or, you know what I mean? That's what it was.
Yeah, I hated when the chick was like riding a dude, and like her tits are out, and you're looking at those going, oh, those are cool. And then she gets stabbed. Yeah. And you're like, you're ruining tits for me.
What about the poor kid who was whacking it while that happened?
Right.
You know what I mean? Somebody rented that, was whacking away as soon as tits came out, and then fucking, and then now they're fucked sexually for their whole life. They're gonna have weird shit tied up. What if they came right when it happened by accident? Like it was happening at the same time.
Imagine that really did happen to you, that you were in the woods banging a chick, she's on top of you, and all you see is a machete come through her chest.
I would hate tits forever.
I'd never fuck ever again.
Never like tits again. Never.
Damn it.
Nope.
You split them in half, and now I hate it.
I would go to men, because then, if it was if you were having sex with a man that way, you could see everything around you while they're bent over. So it's a different thing. You have a better view of the land. I'd be all about survival at that point. So he also would read tons of books about Satan. That was he loved to read books about Satan. And he liked to create special effects of his own. Like he tried to replicate slasher movie special effects, which is fine. You could either be a weirdo, or you might end up being Tom Savini. You know what I mean? Like that's a thing. That's an artistic thing to do.
People that do that had to be fascinated with it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be making such amazing things.
And like Tom Savini was a war photographer in Vietnam. Yeah. That's how he knew how to make everything. Yeah, that's why people go, wow, it's amazing the way he can make insides look like they're exploding. Because he's literally...
he's seen them.
Because he's seen it. That's why. Literally.
He smelled them.
He recreated what he saw in Vietnam. So wounds that were horrible and... That's disturbing. Got to live that over and over.
Truly.
His friend Katrina, an 18-year-old who lived next door to him for 14 years, said he knew every horror movie by heart. He would make masks of characters in the horror movies, grotesque masks, like with blood and an eyeball hanging out.
Jesus Christ.
And she said, I knew that he didn't like... He hated God, she said. Wasn't into God at all.
Okay, yeah.
She said, I knew that because when I would go to church and talk about it, he would say, don't mention God around me.
Oh, for heaven's sake, he's one of those.
His best friend is Craig Shackelford, who was 16, so he's 3 years younger. That tells you a lot right there. He likes...
Yeah, at that age, yeah.
Yeah, he likes to have control over somebody.
Yeah.
He said that Kenneth would frequently discuss creating an illusion of shooting a person through the mouth, like an effect he wanted to do. He would attach, Milner would attach low-power plastic explosives
Oh, wow.
So he's making explosives to the back of someone's head, sticking a gun in their mouth, and simultaneously pulling the trigger and setting off the explosives to make it look like the person's been shot. That's his idea for an effect that he's got locked in.
How else do you do it?
His friend Shackelford there said he wanted to know what that would look like. Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
Shackelford said Milner, he just needed the internet because he could have seen any weird shit he wanted to see. He said that Milner had a twisted sense of humor and liked to scare the hell out of people. That was his thing. He liked to freak people out. And there's a lot. We all know that kid growing up, the kids who like to do that. They said that his bedroom was all sorts of posters from horror movies. That's all it was. The room also contained a clay corpse that he made to test special effects on. Yeah. So that's, I guess you would make that if you were going to have that, but seems creepy. And a cast of his own head that he made as well, that he covered up with a demon mask over there in the corner. Okay. That's interesting here. That's interesting. Later on, his friend will say, quote, Glenn wasn't normal. He goes by Glenn Milner. Glenn wasn't normal, but I don't think he was a Satanist either. Glenn read the Bible from cover to cover, his friend said. He read other books, too, like the Necronomicon and stuff about astral projection. He didn't know what to believe, so he would explore. Well, that's fine. You can read whatever you want. Yeah.
The what? The Necronomicon?
Necronomicon. Have you ever seen Evil Dead?
No.
No? You never saw Evil Dead or Evil Dead 2? Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead. It's just...
Oh, that's all it is?
Shit like that. So, dark,
Like the handbook for the recently deceased.
Exactly. There's spells and shit in the neck, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So it's stuff that if you're a gothy teenager, you might pick it up and read it and whatever and go, oh, that's interesting. Shackelford also said that he had heroes, Milner, though. He wasn't a man who was his own hero, so that's good.
Yeah.
His heroes were Ted Bundy, Charles Manson, and most of all, though, above all, Jack the Ripper. That was the guy for him.
Okay.
Loved him. He said, quote, Glenn admired Jack the Ripper because he was never caught. So Glenn goes for results.
He does.
He's like, Bundy, higher body count. Yes, but fucking death penalty.
Blew it.
Yeah.
Idiot.
In the end, the guy who gets away with it, that's the guy I guess you're friends of.
Bundy escaped, though, several times.
Yeah. But then in the end, though, it didn't work out for Bundy. Or Jack the Ripper, he's like a ghost, man. That's how I think he's looking at it. They said that he was a well-behaved student through grade school, but in high school, things change, which, when your hormones completely change, things change. Right. They said he showed signs of depression. One of his teachers said he started to drink more, and sometimes when he would get angry, he would slice up his arms with a knife. That's more than depressed. That's more than depressed. That's something else.
And he would drink more. He's a child.
Yeah, he'd drink more.
Why does the teacher know that?
He'd drink more. Over here in Panhandle, all the kids are drinking, obviously. But, drinking more, we said, that's enough of that shit. I don't think so here. In 1988, in the spring, so he's about 17, he climbed to the top of a water tower in town, the town water tower, Panhandle written on it, and threatened to jump off.
Oh, boy.
For attention, obviously, because everybody came and the police talked him down. That's what happened here. A few months later, he was driving by himself, and his car ran over a cliff at Palo Duro Canyon.
Okay.
And he was treated for his injuries, and then he was placed in psychiatric care at Northwest Texas Hospital in Amarillo. This wasn't a cliff you could drive off of by accident, put it that way.
Really?
This is a cliff you have to want to drive off of. It's one of the
Wow.
This isn't like
Thelma and Louise style.
This isn't the edge of the mountain in The Shining that you're going to fall off of or something. Not going up like to a mountaintop town in the Swiss Alps.
This is just the side of the PCH in the mountains. This is actually like you're not supposed to be here.
You got to turn it and gun it, Thelma and Louise that shit if you want to get off this fucking cliff. I think so.
And he got injured in it.
He was injured. Yeah, he jumped off a cliff in a car. He can't do that. That's not normal.
No.
Hey, Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. Yeah. But why don't you focus also, you look at like green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
His friend Shackelford there said, Glenn and I talked about the time he tried to kill himself a lot. He did it because he wanted to know what was on the other side.
Doggy, I don't think you're going to want to know.
You can't come back and talk about it. That's the problem.
No.
Once you know, that's all you got. So Milner wrote in Shackelford's high school yearbook here that he said, and this is on July 12th, 1990, he'll write this. We know this because it's the day before something very big happened. Milner wrote, quote, "Your wisdom and advice have helped me out many times. Wish it could on the problem that I face now. Wish I could tell you, but you'll find out sooner or later." That's a yearbook signing.
What the fuck?
What happened to have fun this summer? What the fuck was that? Yeah. Where's that?
Stay cool. Don't change.
Good luck next year. Like, what are we talking about here?
Oh, my God.
Boy, Mrs. Columbo was a real fat ass, wasn't she? Like, you know what I mean? Talk shit about a teacher. This is fucking ridiculous. Yeah. He signed it. Glenn signed it Damien, misspelling it, Damion.
Like Old Dominion?
Like old Damien. Shackelford said he liked people to call him Damien. He liked people to take a step back when he introduced himself as Damien.
Okay.
Because in Panhandle in the 80s, that was still like, ooh, from the Omen.
Ooh, now, look at this guy.
Now a ton of people are named Damien. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. So Friday, July 13th, 1990.
Oh, Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, and that does have significance here for him.
Of course it does.
Of course it does. There's a girl named Lori McCoy. She's close friends with Frankie Garcia. Now, Frankie Garcia is a 17-year-old, and he's kind of a shy kid. She said about him, Lori McCoy said, quote, "He was pretty shy, but very sweet-natured, and he smiled all the time. He's friendly. I think he was voted most friendly in our 8th grade class."
They did that in the 8th grade?
Most friendly, yeah. From 7th grade, you start getting yearbooks, and they, that'll happen here.
Fucking make everybody most something?
Yeah. So Glenn Milner and Garcia are not like buddies or close friends or anything. Yeah. One friend who knew both of them said Frankie really got on Glenn's nerves. Frankie tried really hard to be everybody's friend. So he sounds like normal, basically.
Yeah.
Like
he's a sweet kid.
Yeah, and this Glenn is like, ugh, with this with this bright energy. Get away from me. So Milner invites Frankie Garcia out to hang out on Friday the 13th here. Okay. Garcia talked to Shackelford, Milner's best friend, and said that he was a little skeptical about the whole thing. Why does he want to hang out with me? Shackelford, quoting Garcia, said, quote, Glenn doesn't even like me, does he? Then he said he just wants to take me out and pull a prank on me and scare the hell out of me, probably. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, he said this was on Friday the 13th. He's like, should I go? And he's like, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
He gives a shit.
Yeah. So they get to a barn that's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's where they're going to go hang out. Glenn tells Frankie, there's a bunch of beer in this barn. So let's go hang out. There's a bunch of beer. It's awesome. It's going to be great. Now, this isn't really not a real nice barn. It's a dilapidated barn that's near a deserted old shack. Mm-hmm. And all the local teenagers call it the haunted house. So that's where he's taking him to drink.
Place with some lore. Yeah.
Just the two of us. You know what I mean? Yeah. Can't find a field or some shit inside of that.
Me, you, haunted house, and some Bud Light. Let's go.
Bud Light, yeah. Now, there's different takes on this. Some people have said there was a pentagram drawn on the floor, that Milner had drawn a pentagram on the floor. Some people say there wasn't. So that's one of these we're not sure. But we are sure of this. These two get inside the barn. Milner hits Garcia right away, knocks him down, attacks him, tells him to get down on his knees. Okay. So Garcia's down on his knees. Milner then takes out a rifle that he has had hidden in the barn for this very occasion.
What?
Yeah, he's got all this prepared. That's why I believe the pentagram stuff might be true, because we know he was here before planting stuff and preparing the area. So
he's got a gun there.
He tells Frankie Garcia to put the barrel of this rifle in his mouth. Put it in his mouth. And Glenn will say this, quote, he grabbed hold of the barrel and I said, now put it in your mouth. And we just sat and I kind of made him beg a little bit. And then I just shot him.
What?
Yeah. For no reason.
For nothing.
Nothing. Made him beg, had him down there, and just shot him.
But he picks a person.
Yeah. They said to him, what did Garcia say anything? Because he was an innocent person that would go along with it. That's all it was.
Yeah.
And Glenn said, please, please don't do this. Yeah.
And then I did this.
He said this is his way of like mitigating it for himself. Uh-huh. Glenn said, once I made sure it was quick, the only time he suffered was when he was scared.
Dude, what the fuck?
Yeah. He's like, it was quick. Don't worry about it. So that's, it's not even a murder at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically like, squashing a mosquito on your arm. You made it quick. It's fine.
No reason.
No reason. Then he said at that point, he also said before he pulled the trigger, he recited an incantation of some kind.
Oh, okay.
Telling later on, he will tell the police that it was some kind of ceremony for a secret religious belief that he had that he did not want to share with them.
Okay. What does that mean?
And they said, well, why Frankie Garcia? Why him?
Yeah.
Why? There's a ton of kids around here. Sure. He said, well, I needed a virgin.
Okay.
Now it's
this old shit.
I need a virgin now. He said that, yes, he does worship the devil, but I will not be specific about my religious beliefs. So later when Garcia was found, they could tell by the prints in the dirt floor that he had been brought down to his knees. It was a .223 caliber rifle, by the way. So
that's a fucking AR, bud.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's a big. I wanted to be very accurate with it. It's a big
This isn't
a
destruction weapon.
Yeah, this is not your typical.
Oh man, he now
shooting.
Knows what it looks like. It went right the fuck through that.
That's what he wanted to see. Yeah, if he shot him with a .22, it wouldn't have done that. Right. You know what I mean?
No.
So, yep, that's what he wanted to do. It's fucking awful, but he doesn't just go and turn himself in or just go home and whatever. Yeah. This is about 10 o'clock. He leaves Garcia in the barn.
Yeah.
With his brains blown out. About a half hour later, Shackelford and another friend, Ron, notice Milner driving his car out of town. Yeah. They get his attention. They get him to stop. And Shackelford said, "Hey, what you up to, bud?" And Milner responded, quote, "I just got done taking care of some business. I've got to go take care of some more."
Oh, no.
How ominous is that?
Yeah.
Coming from this fucking guy.
Right.
Like, that's a lot.
We're aware of what that means. Shackelford's not.
So Milner then goes to Lake McClellan, where he knew a large birthday party was being held.
No fucking way.
Okay. He'll later say, "My intention was to, I guess, rack up a body count.
Oh, my God.
But before I did, I had taken like 8 Vivarin, which I don't think those are legal anymore. Those are caffeine pills that were on the market. Those were legal over-the-counter trucker speed of the 80s and 90s that, you know.
Probably like extra strength no-dos.
It was, it's not, I'm sure it's not legal now.
Right.
Probably, I'm sure, meth in it or something. So
he took shitloads of that and then went to a birthday party with his gun, I imagine.
He said, and I hadn't eaten anything since like 9 o'clock that morning. But he is on a shitload of Vivarin. So a bunch of caffeine pills in an empty stomach is not great.
No, he's shaky.
He said, since I didn't have anything in my stomach, I was real jittery and I was kind of sick. And so nothing I could do. I couldn't catch anyone alone or anything like that. So he stayed at this party for 30 to 45 minutes trying to figure out how to kill people and then decided he was too jittery to do it. And so he just left the party. Those people have no idea how fucking lucky they are.
Yeah.
No idea.
For Vivarin. Maybe they should sell that shit.
Maybe sell it more. Yeah, you planning on killing people? Take about 8 of these, but don't eat anything all day. So then he drives to Groom, which is another town. Mm-hmm. That's where he encounters Jimmie Britton, Britteten. Jimmie Britton was the stepfather of a girl that he used to go out with. Okay, that's his ex-girlfriend's stepfather, not even real father. Okay. He knocks on the door and tells...
Oh, he went to the house.
Went to the house, and Jimmie Britton answers the door.
Yeah.
And he says, a friend of mine had a wreck, and I need to use the phone. My friend's car is fucked up. We were driving, and I need to use the phone. So this Britton guy recognizes him as his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, and, you know, he's been in the house before and stuff, so he goes, yeah, sure, come on and use the phone.
His stepdaughter's ex-girlfriend.
The stepdaughter's ex-boyfriend, yeah.
Right.
So as soon as he gets inside the house, instead of using the phone, he pulls out a straight razor, does Glenn. And he starts fighting with Jimmie Britton using this razor to slash the fuck out of him.
Okay.
He slashes Jimmie Britton's throat and arms with a straight razor. Fucks him up, okay?
Yeah.
During this, by the way, his ex-girlfriend is there. Witnessing this is her ex-boyfriend coming in. They haven't even spoken. Yeah. It's not like they've been fighting or beefing or something.
He's just here to borrow a phone.
Just here to use the phone. Glenn Milner, I guess it's the Vivarin on an empty stomach. The Vivarin saved multiple lives now. He starts throwing up during this. I guess all this movement in the course of doing this.
Shaking his belly around,
He starts throwing up while he's trying to fight this guy with a razor. Now, if you've ever been in a fight, you know throwing up in the middle of it is not a great strategy for winning.
That'll make you bend over.
Yeah, it might take let's make someone take 2 steps back for a second just to not get it on their shoes. But then you're in trouble. You know, after that, you're going to be pretty fucked. So then Jimmie Britton, even though his throat is slashed and his arms are slashed with a straight razor, starts kicking his ass and fighting back.
Wow!
Because he's throwing up in his living room. So
and he's a grown adult.
Yeah, so he ends up pushing him out the door. Britton throws Glenn out the door and locks it. He can't get back in now. Now he's out there. He's fucked.
Foiled.
Britton will eventually need over 200 stitches as a result of this.
Oh, Lord.
That is a lot of stitches. If you've
Wide open.
This was, by the way, this is described as a 10 or 15-minute struggle. This is not a 2-second, you come in, I slash you. This is a fucking prolonged physical altercation.
Yeah.
And Milner said that he was angry with Jimmie Britton because of stories the stepdaughter had told him about Britton. He was mean to her. So, you know, I'll go over now.
Stepdad. Right.
Yeah, he was a stepdad. So Glenn's not done. So he's all thrown up now. He's all puked out.
Yeah.
This is the 18 in Life song. story here.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
He's out of control.
He's out of control, man. He's on the edge of, came from the edge of town, the whole deal.
Yeah.
Fucking, he's a mess.
So I don't know what's his end game in this.
Body count.
Oh, boy.
I don't think he has an end
one.
plan.
No.
Well, he does
No.
actually, as we'll talk about it, because he tries to do something, but he's too dumb to do it, as we'll talk about.
Okay.
So he drives now to somewhere else. He's like, okay.
Where's he going?
I killed the kid from school, who was a nice kid. Slashed the fuck out of my ex's stepfather for no reason, because he was mean to her or something. He's alive, but that's fine. Where do I go now? I'm going to drive back to Panhandle, and I'm going to go knock on the door of the high school principal, Ken Williams.
Wow.
Ken Williams, high school principal of Panhandle High.
Meanwhile, the police are certainly looking for him now.
Oh, yeah. No, after the Britain thing,
Yeah.
I mean, cops are called, and they
They're
know
aware.
who he is.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
know exactly who he is, what his address is, what he drives.
Yeah.
I mean, they know the fucking kid. But it's not in time to get to here. So Williams was previously a coach and teacher at another high school and will later be other principals at other schools. Now, when Williams asked Milner, what do you want? After he opened the door, what can I do for you? Milner pulls out a .357 revolver from his pocket.
Why does he have so many weapons?
This guy's got it's fucking firepower too.
Big guns.
These are big fucking guns.
Big guns,
Man. These are huge. And so the principal slams the door.
Yeah.
And he shoots 3 times through the door. Glenn does. Bucks 3 shots off, which will go right through a door. .357. Striking Williams in the leg and in the abdomen with .357.
Got him twice.
Shot. Got him twice.
2 out of 3 through the door.
Third shot missed and went into a wall.
Wow.
So Glenn said, quote, I heard him screaming and I heard his wife screaming, and I just walked back to my car, got in my car, and drove down to Main Street. Okay.
Now where's he going?
So this guy, by the way, Williams, was shot in the leg and chest and needed several months in the hospital to recover from these injuries. Milner said he was super pissed off at Williams for several reasons is why he did this. The most glaring thing, this is really, you got to be careful who you piss off, and because you never know what pisses people off here. Some kind of change in a school homecoming celebration.
To change the theme on him?
God
damn it.
You're 19. You don't even fucking go here anymore. What do you care what the kids do for homecoming?
Holy.
He's really searching for beefs, it sounds like.
Yeah,
Who am I mad at? You know what? That homecoming float sucked, I think.
I'm shocked he knows where this principal lives, but I guess in a small town, you know where everybody lives.
No, where everybody lives, yeah.
Fuck, that's the benefit of being a principal in a big city.
No one knows where you are.
Fucking idea where to exact that rage.
You don't have to live right in that town. Yeah. You can hide under an assumed name. The poor principal here, he had 13 surgeries related to the shooting.
Yeah, because of the abdomen shit.
And he might need his hip and right knee replaced also from this whole mess.
Yeah.
Years later, he was still in pain management and still on medication and pain pills and all that kind of shit. He said, he shot me through the door, so I had 52 pieces of metal in me from the door. He got shrapnel from the door because it blew out an exit.
Got a metal door.
Yeah, it blew out an exit wound on the door, basically, like you would on someone's back, and sprayed him with shrapnel. He said they still pop out from time to time. Oh, what's that?
Oh, Jesus, his body's rejecting them.
Oh, it's a piece of my door still. Yeah.
Oh,
this is
fucking hell.
Years later, he said this. He said, and they lead to pinched nerves and other health problems, but I've learned to cope with it.
Yikes.
So, 2:30, about 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning now.
Yeah. Okay.
It's 1 a.m. he shot the principal.
Wow.
So he now drives to Main Street in Panhandle and finds some teenagers in Panhandle just out on Main Street that he knows at 2:30 in the morning.
That's a fucking tasty phrase.
It is a Friday night, so I guess it's it's dazed and confused, basically, driving around.
Probably, yeah.
And Milner stops. These are kids who go to Panhandle High. He stops, and this is what he says, quote, I saw them, and I said, I just took care of your problem.
What?
And they were like, what the fuck are you talking about, weirdo guy who doesn't even go to high school with us anymore, who's still hanging around?
Yeah.
What's up, Matthew McConaughey? What do you want?
You jerked me off without being near me? Because that's my only problem right now.
Yeah, he's basically McConaughey in fucking in Dazed and Confused. That's who he is. So he said that Milner then tells them, I shot your principal. Mm-hmm. And they said, get the fuck out of here. You didn't shoot your principal. You didn't shoot the principal. That's bullshit. He's full of shit. So he then pulls out his fucking .357 and shoots out his own car window to show them that he had a gun and he's willing to fucking shoot things.
Shot his own car?
His own fucking car window out.
Wow.
And Glenn said they freaked out and got back into their car. Gee, weird.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah, they would. Yeah.
They think you're a murderer. And I just drove off and went and parked at the police station.
I mean, it may as well. You're certainly going to get caught.
Well, that's not his plan, though. His plan isn't to get caught. He said, I was going to wait for everyone to come, and then I was going to shoot myself.
Oh, boy.
The plan was, the play's got 2 bullets left in his .357, so he's like, hey, why not? But the reason why he didn't shoot himself, Jimmy?
Why?
I think he maybe said, oh, this is terrible. I should. No. He couldn't remember the words to take me to incantation, is his exact quote. I couldn't remember the words to take me to incantation.
He needed to recite that to go where he needed to go.
Yeah,
right.
to get to see what he wanted to see on the other side. Yeah. He could imagine him going, what the fuck? When is Google going to be invented? This is what you had to do before the internet. You had to sit in your car in a police station parking lot after you've murdered people and terrorized the whole town and try to remember an incantation. This is bullshit.
You won't make it to Juju Land if you don't.
Nope. He said, but you mean that in a...
J-U-J-U.
Yes, thank you. A lot of people listen. Someone's going to go, hey, what the fuck? Jimmy Whisman's a fucking anti-Semite. Calm down.
I didn't say Jewish land. Calm down. I said
it would have been even worse. It's Jew land, up there where they run around. Everybody got curls and silly hats on
with their candelabras and shit.
How it is. He said, I couldn't remember the words. That's why I sat there for so long. I was trying to remember the words. It was kind of embarrassing, but I couldn't remember the words.
Yeah, it's your own shit, man.
Yeah, he said, I was ready to move to the other side. I don't belong here. So he said, I don't belong here.
Yeah, though I walked through the fuck. What is it?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
Yep, he had to recite them just prior to exiting this world so he could move on to the proper other side. So while he's trying to remember this, police arrive to the police station.
Right.
And say, hey, we'd love to have a chat with you, big guy. Let's come on in here. So he sits down with them. This is, the morning of July 14th, and gives a 41-page statement.
Wow.
All these quotes I gave you were from his statement.
Let him have it.
He just doesn't give a fuck. Yeah, he starts talking. He says that, it's weird, man. This is Texas Ranger Jim Mull is talking to him, and it's an hour-long interview. So, I mean, it's just, here it is. It's not a lot of getting to know you. He just was like, let me tell you what I did. A, B, C.
So let's start with Frankie.
What's up? So he talked about his desire to kill, and he regretted, in this interview, that he couldn't kill more that night. He's like, I'm mad that I didn't kill more. He said, I'm not totally cold, but I don't have any feelings or remorse for any of this. But I'm not totally cold.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, what are you?
That's totally cold, isn't it?
I was going to say, what are you warm about then?
Yeah.
If murder's not on your list of things to feel sorry about. He said that he said that Friday the 13th was interesting. He said that was a good day to do this.
Sure.
He said he received some kind of religious book on a previous Friday the 13th, and he thought maybe that was an omen, so he should do it on Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
He says, I lured Frankie out to the barn. And here's an excerpt from the conversation with the ranger here. Okay. Yeah. The guy says, okay, let us know about the boy you shot. You picked him because you never really did like him and the fact that he was a virgin, because he had already said that. And Glenn answers, I just never did like him and the fact that he was a virgin and he was very gullible.
It all helped.
Yeah. They said, how did you know for a fact that he was a virgin? What if you made a mistake? Which is a
Great
very
point.
good question.
Valid as fuck.
That's a solid question.
Seems a bit judgy.
Sir. Yeah. And then Glenn said, it was something I could sense.
Oh, I could smell it.
I could sense he's never been inside a vagina before.
Yeah, I can smell untouched penis.
I just can tell, yeah. He's sniffing.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch-up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right. Let's go elevate your styles, people.
Yeah.
Get it going. Look good out there. And you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable. And you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, well, still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah. They're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff. And I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool. And you can personalize this portion and you can put filters on it. And get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
They said, did the date, Friday the 13th, have anything to do with it? He said, yes. They said,
everything.
Why? Is it part of your religion? He says, no. Really, it seemed an appropriate date to make a statement on. Okay. Statement. They said, what kind of statement were you trying to make? He said, just leave my mark on the world. Just leave a mark. And it was 6 years to the day that I first discovered the book. And they said, what book?
Yeah, tell us
pray
about
tell,
that.
son.
Yeah.
What book? And then
Is it The Secret?
He spit out a big wad of chew after that. He said, my religious book, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Really, the weird part is it was the Bridges of Madison County, which is really not what you expected out of this. That was the strangest part of the the whole murder. No. So they said, does it have a name? And he said, no name.
They just
book without a title.
Where do you find it? How do you?
Anybody out there ever read a book that didn't have a title? Nope.
Go to the library and ask for that book.
Yeah, this is just a section of just bound pages. We don't know what they're about. I don't know.
With words on them and shit.
Who knows? He said, no name. It was an old book that someone had given to me. It was on Friday the 13th. On a Friday the 13th that I had received it 6 years ago when I was 13.
Okay.
So, yeah. So they said, so you killed this boy just to make a name for yourself? And Glenn said, well, yes, he was symbolic. He had a purpose. Yeah. They said, symbolic of what? Right. This is a and this is a 1990 Texas Ranger with a lip full of snuff. Like,
yeah.
He's not going deep existentialism or like, I don't think he's read a lot of Nietzsche probably. Like this guy's just like, boy, why'd you kill him? What the hell's wrong with you, boy?
Every answer he gives requires 7 questions.
You're
more.
You're
a fucking asshole.
He just keeps opening up bigger things. And the cop's probably just like, so you just didn't want to try out for the football team? I don't understand. what are we talking about?
You'd have been a good receiver. What's the problem?
Yeah, you could have got charisma. You could have done it. So they said, symbolic of what? And Glenn said, the virginity. It was important in order to get through to the rest, to the end.
Yeah, but you're here, man.
Which prompts the end of what?
Yeah.
That's the question they asked.
Yeah.
He said, well, at the end when I died, then I moved on to a higher plane of existence, go beyond the door, what I call go beyond the door.
Oh, God.
So the cop said, was this just a personal thing?
Yeah. He
might have just said, boy, and shook his head because that's what he's thinking.
Are there more y'all?
Yeah. Is more y'all just running around? He said, yes. I mean, some people like to go sailing.
Yeah.
This is a hobby
true.
now.
Yeah.
He said, this has been a desire. I've always just wanted to kill.
Uh-huh.
And they said, well, how long have you been wanting to do this? And he said, 3-4 years.
My friend, you are really fucking yourself.
Wow, this guy is fascinating. They said, did you talk to anybody about it? He said, a few people.
Who are they?
The question now is, any professional people? Doctors, maybe? Your parents? Anybody? That's what the guy asked, which is a good question.
Yeah.
Ever tell them how you feel? He said, when I was in the pavilion, which is the mental hospital for driving his car off the fucking cliff 2 years ago, I talked to my psychiatrist, but someone I see, and the guy says, tell them this? And he said, kinda, in a way. I just told them that I like serial killers, which our audience, there's plenty of people are interested. There's a difference. Interested
that
in
phrasing is fascinating. Yeah.
And like are different things.
Right.
I like finding out information about serial killers.
Yeah.
Normal. He thinks
I like them. Sick.
He's like cool, like they're normal kids are with people in bands and shit. Like
he's like Glenn Danzig.
Yeah. Other kids are like putting flannel shirts on, being like, this Nevermind is fucking great. And this kid's like, I just like serial killers. I don't know.
I like them.
He said in the 8th and 9th grades, I did my reports on serial killers. They said, what is the serial killer that you like? Who's the serial killer that you like? Fuck it. If he's talking, let him talk. He said, I guess Ted Bundy, the love bit killer, was my favorite. But was my favorite, and then Jack the Ripper, and then I guess Manson.
You're a real hack.
He's a hack. Yeah, he doesn't even dig deep. He couldn't even be like, I mean, we know a lot of serial killers. We've talked about them.
This is very A&E, my friend.
This guy, he just saw shit in 1990. It wasn't even A&E. It was, I saw something on Dateline, or not even Dateline, some NBC. 60 Minutes.
Fucking 60 Minutes.
I saw a 60 Minutes interview.
Charlie Rose told me about some shit.
With an ex-Manson girl. On Meet the Press that morning, Tim Russert told me all about.
Squeaky fucking frog.
Yeah. Then I guess Manson. So they said, do you feel any kind of remorse about killing this boy, Frankie? And he said, no.
What?
No. They said, what about the principal, Mr. Williams? No. And they said, he didn't die. And Glenn said, yes, I know. And they said, they told you that? And he said, yes. They said, and neither did the man Britain that you cut. And he said, yes. He said, so far, only got the one that died, Frankie. His answer to this is fucking hilarious, because this is, I feel like he'd be a decent employee. This is the thing. If you could get him to not kill anybody, he'd be a decent employee. You could get him to do things, because his answer is, quote, I didn't do a very good job.
No, you didn't.
He didn't try to blame others. He didn't try to skirt the responsibility, shirk it.
L. Yeah.
He said, I didn't do a very good job. I'll do better next time. He then said that he really wants the death penalty for killing Frankie. He said,
really?
He said he was hoping to have killed Britton and Williams, if that makes it more deathy, you know.
Yeah.
He said that he has no remorse. He said, quote, I just want to move on, and that's why I want the death penalty.
Yeah.
They said at one point, anything else you want to talk about while you're here?
Yeah.
I mean,
anything?
chit-chatting?
Yeah.
And he said, quote, no, just my parents. I didn't want to hurt them or anybody else. I mean, I'm not totally cold. I have had a lot of girlfriends that I do love. I love them a lot, and I do feel love, and I like to be loved. It's just that I don't belong. They're like, oh, okay, well then.
What the fuck happened to you, man?
I'm going to go ahead and lock you on up here.
Yeah.
His friends said that they also had in their possession a hit list of his of intended victims.
Okay.
And a videotape detailing his motives and plans, and the police were subpoenaing that as well.
Yeah.
So, these simple Panhandle folk freak the motherfuck out, as you can imagine.
I believe it, yeah.
They lose their fucking minds. Kids aren't allowed outside anymore. It's like everything. No, stay in here. One lady who has 4 children said, there's a fear that there are more Satanists out there. There are rumors that they're looking for blonde-haired, blue-eyed boys to sacrifice. This is just people talking down at Shirley's or whatever the fuck. Probably not at Shirley's about this, but at other Panhandle establishments, they're just sitting around. I hear they're looking for little blonde boys.
Yeah. Whoever the Volkswagen Ranch is, they're talking about the killing our favorites.
Oh, my God. He's been bragging to people. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's it. One of his friends said, he said that this is one of the teenagers he met on Main Street. He said that he shot Williams and then said, I finished off Frankie Garcia. Then he took a gun out and shot a hole through his own car window to prove to us he was serious.
Yep.
The prosecutor is in agreement with him on one thing. He would also like the death penalty for
is that
young
right?
Glenn. That's the only thing they're in agreement with. Everything else, they're miles apart on a lot of other shit.
I like the way
worlds
you think
apart.
on one topic.
Yeah. They're worlds apart like Journey, but otherwise they're here. He said, Mr. Milner has indicated a strong desire to die, and I intend to do all I intend to do all I can to see his wishes are accommodated. That's what the prosecutor said.
I would enjoy to satisfy that for him. Yeah.
Oh, man. The court-appointed defense attorney, when talked to, said, I just got the case. He said, I don't even know what's going on yet.
Ask me nothing.
He said, at this time, I'm not really sure where it's all going to lead. That's not great. As for the rumors of Satanism, the lawyer said, I don't think that's a guiding influence in his life, but I just don't know. I just got here. Shackelford, his best friend, says he doesn't really think Milner cares what happens to him. He said, I think he would have committed suicide eventually. I think he wants to die. I think the death penalty would probably please him.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So they're trying to figure out a motive, and all they can come with is he took him to the haunted house, Satan.
Yeah.
He's got horror film. Satan,
Sure.
Satan. So that's it. They're going to try to West Memphis 3 this motherfucker quickly. Only this guy's very guilty.
Yeah.
So they indict him on 2 counts of attempted capital murder and also murder as well, obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
Capital murder. The capital charges carry a higher penalty, including the death penalty or life sentences, and that's not good here, obviously, for him. But maybe it is, because that's what he wants.
Yeah,
so before they get to trial, though, early 1991, everybody is shocked when he just decides to enter into a plea agreement.
Oh, he'll just say he did it.
He's going to plead out to this, which nobody thought was going to happen here. He pleads guilty to 2 counts of attempted capital murder and to murder as well. Not good for him. So the judge says, you, sir, dipshit, fucking weirdo, may fuck off 3 lifetime prison sentences. So
lifetime.
Life sentence is 3 times 3.
Yeah.
Altogether. I think the murder is for no parole, and the other two are life with parole because they're attempted murder. Okay.
But it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. So when he is sentenced to all this is creepy as fuck. His surviving victims are there, including Mr. Principal Williams and his wife. After he's sentenced, Glenn Milner turns to the principal, points a finger at him and his wife, and said that he'll finish the job if he ever gets out of prison.
I'm coming for you.
How dare you fuck up that homecoming? How angry are you over homecoming floats? What the fuck is happening?
Wow.
Wow. So he sits in jail now for 10 years. Then in 2000, he appeals, and his murder conviction is set aside by the federal courts.
How?
A technicality related to the construction of the plea agreement. They didn't do paperwork correctly. There was
What? Why would you
wrong things there.
do your fucking job?
Now, the way this works is, too, this doesn't just, if he's retried on the murder charge, this will be double jeopardy now, the way it works out. Normally, it doesn't work out like that, but this way, it was, for some reason, it went to the Supreme Court. It was
Because of the plea, yeah.
Yes. This eliminates Milner being punished for more than once for the same crime and reduces his prison sentence by at least 15 years. They said now he could be out, as early as
Eligible for parole.
as early as 2010.
Williams, move.
I would get the fuck out of the Panhandle.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's double jeopardy. Nobody even questioned that. Even the prosecutors are like, I guess it is here. So he will remain in prison for the assaults, but he's no longer being punished. He's no longer a murderer. Put it that way.
What in the fuck,
Even though he
man?
said, I took this kid, said, put this gun in your mouth, made him beg for his life, and then blew his fucking brains out. Not a murderer.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So Jimmie Britton is pretty pissed off about this.
I believe it, yeah.
He said it's shocking that the court system would allow this to happen. It's a pretty sorry court system when they let somebody off of a murder charge that they confess to.
Fucking sorry.
Sorry. It's some sorry bullshit here. He probably said some sorry shit, and they were like, it's the paper. This is nice, Principal Williams said he's very upset by the court ruling, and I don't blame him.
Yeah.
He said, I think people need to understand that somewhere along the line, this has got to stop. The victims can't keep being victimized. It never ends for people like me or the Garcias or Mr. Britton. Good people are still being victimized by this evil person.
Absolutely.
Remember McCoy, the girl there from the beginning, his friend?
Right.
She said, I was shocked. If I could pick, I don't know which charge they should have let go, but I could not believe it was the murder charge. Could say 1 out of 3. It's not going to be that one. Yeah.
This is Texas, for Christ's sake. That's fascinating.
That's what I mean. And Panhandle, Texas. This isn't like, that's what they do down in Houston. This is fucking, they can't
They'll
even
string
do
you
that.
up with your own intestines here.
Yeah. Look, there he goes. She said he admitted it. I felt sad for the family and for the other victims. She said she didn't witness any of the violence, but she said, of all the people, why Frankie? She doesn't understand it. She said, I don't.
He was a
get it.
virgin. You don't know?
That's wild. She said, and all sorts of teenagers used to go to that barn. That was the party barn, the haunted house. They go there to drink beer and finger each other.
Caught.
Yeah. And she said that's where people went to get scared. And now it's even scarier, I would think.
Yeah.
Now you really get scared when you go there.
Sure.
She said she began having nightmares after Frankie's funeral. In her recurring dream, she said a deceased Frankie would appear and ask her to go with him to the barn. Ugh,
Gross.
that is fucking creepy.
No good.
You'll wake up screaming from that shit.
Yeah.
She said, I guess I was replaying in my mind what I had read about Frankie's death. In my dream, Glenn told Frankie to get on his knees, and then he shot him, execution style. I had to witness that so Frankie would have someone there with him.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God. She said this dream and others involving Frankie continued for about 4 years. Just terrorized her for 4 years.
Why didn't she? Oh, boy.
That's bad, man.
What do you do for that?
Valium.
Mm-hmm.
Lots
of therapy.
Lots of therapy and Valium, I think, is the answer there.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, don't get me wrong.
No.
But
drugs or booze, something, yeah.
Something. She said, I still have a terror of guns beyond imagination because of my dreams. Yeah. She said about the dreams, because of those very vivid, horrific nightmares, I think they made me afraid of Glenn. I don't know if it's so much who he is or what he has become in my mind. So 2010, he's up for parole.
Get out of here.
Up for parole. Buddy has a bad year here. He is denied parole, and his mom, Shirley, dies in the same year.
Oh, shit.
So double whammy. Sorry, Shirley. I feel bad for you, but, 2015, he's up for parole again. But Principal Williams here is seriously doing an all-out assault to try to get him to not be able to come out of prison, which I don't blame the guy. I mean, he told him, if I ever get out, I'm coming for you. So he sends letters and gets tons of people to send letters to the parole board to say, please don't let this fucking lunatic out here. Then also Williams said, I'm going to speak face-to-face with the parole board this time. I can only speak to one of them, and that one person will make his or her recommendation to the rest of the parole board. So, he said that this is what he said in this letter, quote, he put him in the middle of a pentagram and blew his brains out, sacrificed him as a virgin to the devil. He's a sociopath, a perfect example. It was very planned. Yeah. And he said also, Milner was in solitary confinement for a long time because he was such a fucking problem.
Really?
And he said that he found out that he's been in Gen Pop recently for the last couple of years. And the principal said, that's one step closer to getting out. He promised that he would finish the job on me if he ever got out. That's kind of a scary deal.
You bet, yeah.
He said, I just believe he's going to be kept in. He doesn't need to get out. He's going to kill again. There's no doubt about it. Oh,
for
I agree.
sure.
For sure. This guy, I have no remorse at all.
None.
Wow. So they said the offenders' files, this is the parole board, are sent to the respective board offices around the state. Everything is on file. Everything in the file is reviewed or considered. There's a 3-person panel board, and they decide whether or not he qualifies. Williams said in his file that he has more than 250 letters opposing the release. So people there's nobody going, you should just let him out. It's fine. It's all people going, fuck this. He also says, quote, we as victims keep going through it over and over. I'm pretty dogged and I'm not going to give up. I forgave him a long time ago, but that doesn't mean I want him out of jail. Agreed. So he is denied parole in 2015. Good. 2018, his dad, the old Indian, dies there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Indian dies, so his parents are dead. He's in prison, and from what I could find, he's still in prison. So he didn't get out in 2020 either. Looks like they're doing him every 5 years, which is like the most time they can take between them. So he's doing they're doing him like that, which is good. We don't need
like a
him.
Manson family member.
Yeah, because what the fuck? We don't need this kid. It's not the Satanism or any of that shit. I don't care about that shit. It's I don't have any remorse for killing this kid for no reason.
I love that he went on a crime spree and nobody knows who the fuck he is. All
He's
that
like,
for nothing, you fucking jerk.
This is going to make me famous. And it's
nope.
Well, I mean now, but it took this long.
Yeah, it took 30 years for us to find out about you, piece of shit.
Almost 35 for us to notice you. So he's a loser and will remain in prison to lose more and more. I'm sure in games of checkers and cards and anything else he does. He's just a fucking loser.
It's a general game of life.
General game of life. If you enjoy that show, you should tell everyone about it. Get on whatever app you're listening on. Give us 5 stars. It helps so much. Also, tell all your friends. Follow on social media. Share the show. Do all that fun stuff. Listen to our other shows too, Crime and Sports and Your Stupid Opinions. This is Small Town Murder.
Yeah,
Your Stupid Opinions, which are fucking hilarious. So, honestly, do you trust us?
Right. I hope so.
I would hope so by now. Give them a listen. Give them a shot.
We don't let you down.
We won't let you down. We wouldn't make it if it wasn't funny. So
we're doing our best.
Check it out. Yeah, do all of that. So shutupandgivememurder.com. Virtual live show, 420 virtual live show for sale right now. Get your tickets for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Anywhere in the world with an internet connection, you too can come to a live show. It's going to be a blast, just like a regular live show, but in your living room. Also, you can get tickets for the rest of the year. Get them April 5th in Sacramento, April 6th in San Francisco. You're up first. Minneapolis could be our biggest show ever.
Yeah.
New York and Boston are selling quick in December. Get those tickets right now. A couple of shows are sold out already. Get in there, shutupandgivememurder.com, patreon.com/crime and sports. $5 a month or more gets you all the bonus shit you can handle. Shitloads of back bonus episodes to listen to, a couple hundred of them, new ones every other week. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder. This week for Crime and Sports, personal ads are back, baby.
Yes.
Looking for love in all the wrong places, like the newspaper in 1987 and places like that. We'll explore all of that and hear people's sorry pleas for love. Then for Small Town Murder, the Collier brothers, 2 brothers in a brownstone in New York that hold themselves up in there for years. One of them was like dead for a long time. They had newspapers stacked to the ceiling, made mazes, and they had to cut
Wild.
a fucking hole out of the place to get him out of there. We'll talk all about that. Patreon.com/Crime and Sports. Plus a shout out at the end of the regular show. We are at Small Town Murder on Instagram and everything. Find us, hang out with us, keep coming back and doing that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus